Hi everyone, today I'm going to be demonstrating how to turn a black and white photo into a color photo. I am using Adobe Photoshop 5 and a Wacom tablet, but pretty much any Photoshop will do. So first things first, you want to make sure you have your source photo imported into Photoshop. So that's what my top layer is. Underneath I have a bottom layer that you will see the usefulness of later for color sampling. Normally you're going to want to start off adjusting your black and white photo. So I'm going to duplicate the layer to be able to adjust non-destructively. Normally you'd adjust the levels just to make sure the darkness is where you want, make sure that you're getting as much detail as you can. I actually don't like the adjustments I did. I think I'm just going to leave my photo the way it originally was. The next and most crucial step here is creating a new layer and setting the blend mode to color. This blending mode is actually going to let us paint in swatches of color without losing any of the details. To demonstrate, I'll just pick a red and swatch it in with a nice large brush. And you can see that the color goes right over. So from here on out, the main process will just be selecting the right color that you want to use and painting it in. So I'm going to start off doing the walls. It's sometimes easier to just do the background first. Pick a nice neutral color, nothing too crazy, and then just start painting in and filling in the area that you want to be colored. Another thing to keep in mind is that you don't have to be too careful with this initial round of coloring because you can always go back over edges and repaint them. It's really easy to make adjustments, so the boundaries don't need to be too clean. And here again I'm selecting a color that I want for the chair in the background. Sort of olive green seemed like a good idea, but it didn't actually turn out the way I wanted. So one way to change that would be to select a new color and paint over the same area. But another way that you can do it is by hiding all the other layers. You can see which color swatches you have laid in, select the color that you want to change, and then adjust it with the hue and saturation tool. This gives you a good amount of control over the specific saturation level, color. You can fine tune it to be whatever you want it to be. And then once that's done, you can just deselect, touch up any areas that you need to, and continue painting. Another technique that you can use to help make your images look more real is to sample in colors from elsewhere, lower the opacity, and paint them in onto your other color blocks. Helps it look not so, well, monochromatic for each section essentially. Gives it a little bit more realism because real life has a lot of different tones in each section and each color. So now it's time for me to work on the face, and I'm going to sample colors from this other photo to help get some of that multidimensionalism that I was talking about earlier in skin, because it's really important when you're working with people and skin tones. Zoom in to start adding some more details and some specifics on the tonality of the skin, because like I said before, it can be really difficult to capture and it's really important. So now I'm going to add some color to the lips, start putting in some of the details. Later I'm going to also focus on some blush on the cheeks, a little bit of different coloration on the eyes, just to kind of make it look a little bit more realistic, a little bit of makeup. And this is something that you can tone down however much you want or add however much detail you want. that's been fine-tuned, I can go back to working on some of the larger areas that I have left. Another very detail-oriented technique would be to pay attention to where reflected light would be. So in this case, her shirt would be reflecting some of the color of the couch. So again, here we're just going to lower the opacity of our brush and then paint in areas where we think that color would be hitting on the shirt. It is kind of hard to learn where that would be, but it's just sort of a trial and error process. Once you get it right, you know that it looks good. After that's done, I'm just going to make sure that I go through and paint in any of the rest of the areas that I have, make any final adjustments on colors that I've already blocked in, that sort of thing. I'm actually still pretty unhappy with the color of the curtains, so I'm gonna go find a source image to sample from. Basically just search bright since it looks like that might be what the material is and see what I can find. Scrolling through, seems like this kind of green color might work. So I'm gonna copy that image in, and then from there you can sample the highlight colors, the mid-tone colors, and the shadow colors, and it'll help make it look a little bit more realistic. Alright, so here's our final product, folks. You can compare to the layer below to see how much of a difference it's made. Hopefully this was a useful tutorial, and thanks for watching.